How long have you been in Taiwan?
This is my 7th year. Yeah, I've been and gone a couple of times, and I've thought about leaving, and usually I've never had enough money, money is usually the reason I'm not leaving.
Yeah. What do you like about Taiwan?
Everything that England hasn't got. Okay, we've got great weather. It's a good lifestyle. It's a really easy lifestyle. Like you work 5-6 hours a day max. Weekends free, evenings free. You can have a line in the morning.
So Taiwan, the work hours are. You definitely have the potential in Taiwan to work a pretty easygoing schedule. It's going to depend on the school. Like you could work in, basically an 8 to 4, an 8 to 5 in a public elementary school if you are a licensed teacher, or you can work in a bushiban and work. Could end up working 8 hours a day, or in a kindergarten, say. But I would say generally it's pretty easy to find an easier-going schedule. Like a school that's going to give you an ARC for working, 12 hours. I got one for working at 12 hours at one school, another for working 18 hours. So, it's definitely possible to find schools out there with a pretty easygoing schedule. Some schools, some bushibans may require you to work on Saturdays, though. I worked in one that did, so it's really going to depend.
A lot of the guys like the girls here, and the girls seem to like the Western guys, which is always a buzz for the male ego. Girls have issues with that, of course, because a lot of the Asian guys might not be Western girls for tea.
Which girls? The Western girls or the Asian girls have issues?
Yeah, the Western girls. They don't usually take sexually to the Asian male. Some do, but I've known a lot to be kind of down about finding a boyfriend. Okay, other good things. Money's good.
How much money can you make in a month?
If you want to work, you can make 100,000 NT a month if you want to work. Now 100,000 NT is just short of £2,000, so probably about 3,500 US maybe. Or that's 4,000 Canadian.
How many hours does that take though to get that?
You might make that money. You might need to work about 7 or 8 hours a day. Yeah, about 8 hours a day to make that kind of money, which can be quite tiring.
You can make that kind of money if you're teaching 8 hours a day and getting paid by the hour. Around, say, at least 600, which is totally possible, but that's a lot of work.
But that's if you want the money, Some people come from the lifestyle. Some people just do part-time and they'll work 16 hours a week to get the ARC. Yeah. And then that gives them enough money to live on, and then they can use that time to study Chinese, calligraphy, study themselves, whatever.
How much is it about an hour? Do teachers get paid about an hour, US dollars?
Teachers are paid about the minimum's about 550, 600 NT an hour. So, just trying to work that out in different currencies. So in US, that will be, that's about 20 US minimum. You can if you want to do private, so you get some good schools, you can double that.
Yeah.
So between 20 and 40 US an hour, depending on how much you value yourself, I guess. What you wanna take from it.
All right, Dale. What advice would you give to someone who's interested in coming abroad to teach?
Advice, I would. Internet straight away. I got the internet and I would contact the famous site in Asia. I think it's tealit.com, T-E-A-L-I-T. They seem to have so much information about everything. Accommodation, furniture, bikes, visas, everything, jobs, girls, friends, pen pals, language exchanges, etc. College courses. Yeah. Get on there, get as much information as you can. I tell you what, some people actually they use the net and they try to find like MSM friends in that local area too. Like if you can do that a few months before, then you can kind of drain some knowledge and maybe
get some connection.
Yeah, and actually have some friends here when you arrive. You know, especially some of the foreign friends who can speak English.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're really, really good people, and they always want to help in Asia.
Hey, what's up? This is Ian, and I'm gonna tell you. First, Dale's gonna tell you about his experience with the with food in Taiwan, and then I'm gonna tell you mine, which was a little bit different.
How do you like the food?
That first answers the question. Some people love the food. They love it. Taiwanese food, the different kinds of fish, lots of fish and fishy things. You know, fish as friends. Yeah. And there's loads of meats. But I'm vegetarian, and a lot of the vegetables here I don't actually like. There's a huge range. They have like pickled vegetables, almost semi-Korean style, and they have just weird-looking vegetables. And I like things that don't look so weird, you know.
Yeah. But don't they have a lot of vegetarian restaurants here? Sushi.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, lots of sushi restaurants and lots of like Buddhist tofu restaurants.
Yeah.
You can eat things which look like meat, but you don't feel guilty after. Yeah. That kind of thing. Yeah.
So my experience in Taiwan with food was, I thought it was pretty good, and I was a vegetarian too. Actually, I ate out in Taiwan for almost 2 years straight. It was only at the very end. I got I moved into a new apartment that had a kitchen in it, and I started cooking. Prior to that, I lived in a studio apartment that had no kitchen, and I ate out for 2 years straight. And for me, it was no problem. Not much of a problem. Sometimes I got like what do you say, hunger for like some other like foods that are used to. But there's Western restaurants there, or different kinds of restaurants. You can go to Thai restaurants, Indian restaurants, whatever, and you can find stuff to eat. But for me, I ate out pretty cheap. I didn't spend that much money. I ate mostly in vegetarian restaurants, because when I lived there, I was a vegetarian. And most of the vegetarian restaurants there, they're not going to be like the vegetarian restaurants where you're from. But they're catered towards Buddhists, because in Taiwan, there's a lot of Buddhists. And the Buddhists, they don't eat, these are like vegan restaurants. So they don't even eat onions or garlic or anything like that, or dairy. So it's pretty much, there's lots of things that look like meat. Taste, I don't know, I thought pretty good. Kind of cooked, kind of Chinese style. And yeah, I thought that was pretty good. A lot of things that look like meat, but they're made from soy or wheat gluten. And there's a lot of like restaurants, like buffets, where you can go in, pay maybe $3 and get a full meal. Yeah, it's definitely possible to eat anywhere from maybe like, street food for maybe $1, and then like you can get a meal in some restaurants for maybe $2-3, $4, and then of course it depends. It goes up depending on the kind of restaurant. But lots of options for vegetarians in Taiwan. I'd say it's the best place in East Asia for vegetarians.
What about drinks, like fruit drinks or tea? What do you think about that?
Fruit drinks and tea. Yeah, I like to drink the green tea here. It's cheap. But there are millions of kinds of tea. Yeah. Not just here, but in Asia. I think Taiwan's specialized in different kinds of teas, different kinds of milk teas, fruit teas, teas with jelly inside and balls of flour.
Denju night.
Yeah, teas that you think this ain't tea, kind of tea. Yeah, lots of that.
Another great thing about Taiwan is it's hot, right? It's hot, and so there's lots of great places to get cool drinks. And some of those drinks are fruit drinks. Taiwan's great for fruit. There's all kinds of places to get fruit drinks. Like they'll make it right in front of you. All kinds of exotic fruit, like dragon fruit and all that stuff. Papaya, mango, all the kind of tropical fruit that you can imagine. They have it, and yeah, it's good. Really good juice. Make it right in front of you. Really fresh watermelon juice, carrot juice. You name it. They got a guava and all kind of passion fruit. Really good stuff. So that's fantastic. And then tea. If you like tea, there's tea all over. Tea shops all over the place. The basic stuffs like different, kinds of green tea. And there's black tea, and oolong tea, and what else they got? If you're into that, what is it? The little ball. They call it like Zenju Naicha. What is that? The little jelly tapioca balls in it. I can't think of what the name. Boba tea. I think that originated in Taiwan actually. So lots of good options, I think, in Taiwan for food. But like any place, any foreign country you go to, you're not going to have the options like you do at home. You're not. It's different. You have fewer options. But, if you're kind of adaptable and, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I had a pretty good experience with food in Taiwan.
Yeah, but I just tend to stick to the same kind of thing every time. I'm a little boring with food and drink. Yeah, I feel like I know what I like, kind of guy.
What about in the supermarket? What can you get in the supermarket? Do you find you can get foods from back home, or what kind of foods you can?
You can get food from back home. It might cost you a little more. There's not a huge range from back home. There's a new place called Costco. I think that's a worldwide thing anyway now. And you can go there and you can buy in bulk cereal, whatever it is you eat. I don't know, hot dogs or vegetables, different kinds of beer. They've got it all in big amounts. It's really good, really, really good. It's good if you don't live alone. Yeah. Then you can chip in and get some of that stuff. Really good cheeses too. Yeah.
Have you had any difficulties living in Taiwan?
I think the biggest difficulty will be language. It's always communication. And I would say to you, as soon as you arrive, take up the language. Commit to at least 1 year. At least an hour a day, or 3 classes a week, or 2 hours every afternoon. Commit for 1 year. And then after 1 year, if you don't like it then, give it up. But at least by then you'll have sussed out the grammar, you'll know most of the basic vocab, and then if you want a relationship, you're okay. Yeah. If you get lost, you need to get yourself out of a situation, you're okay. If you're in hospital and you can't explain, you'll be okay. A year's intense study is worth being here 7 years and just trying to pick up a few words every day. The pain is short term. In fact, you're probably going to enjoy it too. Yeah. Language, anything else? The roads here are pretty bad, I've got to be honest. They have their own rules, not like Taipei, it's a little more red light means stop. Yeah. Here, red light means you can stop if you want to stop, but it's up to you,
Right.
Roads.
The things that bothered me the most about teaching in Taiwan, for me, I would say that was probably the pollution. Like, Taiwan has a lot of scooters, and all those scooters, there's literally millions of scooters in Taiwan, okay? Lots of scooters. So, all those scooters contribute to air pollution. You're out in the street, they can be very foggy. I lived in Tainan and Taichung, Taiwan, and I would say both places were fairly smoggy. Just because of scooters. There's just too many scooters in Taiwan. They're fun and they're convenient at own, but too much pollution, I'd say.
How did you arrange your housing, Dale?
Well, I was lucky. My brother was here first. My first house was just a place to stay until I got my own place. But me and my brother, we moved house, and then we used the internet again. We used TEFL. Flatmates wanted. Yeah. So we both found a place. We lived with a Canadian girl. And then I went to my next house. I went to a housing agent, an estate agent on the street, and there were lots of them. I just told them I want to live in this area, what can you do? And they will take you around. But you have to be careful because the first few houses they take you to are the ones they're trying to get rid of. The pretty shit quality, maybe no light. small space. So you just keep insisting on what you want, and then they will have to find it if they want to make any commission from the sale. But be careful with the housing. A lot of the housing, they have the windows are small, or they have cages on. So have your vision. Have your vision of what you want first. Be patient, and one will come up for sure. Yeah. It's cheap too.
Hey, so my first place in Taiwan was about, I think I paid my first place, actually, I don't remember. My first main place, I lived in a few different places. When I first started, I lived in this, had this like room in a shared house. I don't even remember how much I paid. I might have paid around 3,000 Taiwan dollars, which might have been around $100 or something like that. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I didn't live there very long. My first like real place, I rented like a studio room, and that was about 6,000 a month, which is am I saying 6,000? Is that right? Am I saying that right? It's about $200, 200 USD a month, and that was like a studio apartment without a kitchen. Now this is kind of common in Taiwan. Like you rent a studio, it's probably not going to have a kitchen in it. Most people eat out. And that's what I did for 2 years straight in Taiwan. My second place I lived was in Tainan, and I lived in a big apartment with some other foreigners, and I just rented a room, and that was cheap. I think I paid 3,300, so just over $100 for a room in a shared apartment. So that was pretty good. Of course, like housing in Taipei, it's going to cost more than housing in, say, Kaohsiung or Taichung or Tainan.
It's okay, it's okay. Everybody seems to be a DJ this day and age, but they're all playing the same music. You just need one DJ in a bigger room, save a lot of money and time. It's mainly hip-hop, lots of electric breakbeats and stuff, but I don't really get that. You know, too much electric. Where's the soul? Where's the vocals? You know, where's the heart and passion of the music?
Yeah.
Just a little bit repetitive.
Yeah. What about live music? Have you ever seen any live?
Loads of live music. Loads. You're in a band or you're playing an instrument. Awesome. You'll fit right in here. There's a huge scene. Everybody seems to be a singer or play an instrument except me. Yeah. I play my own instrument. I'm going to play now.
Which instrument is that, Dale?
It's a secret instrument given to me by God, and in silent times I will play it to God.
Right. Have you seen any like big shows in Taipei or anything like that?
It's a big show place, yeah. There are huge jazz concerts, jazz festivals. It's Asia, right? So they believe in all these different kinds of gods and fetishes. So they're always celebrating something. Boat festival, moon festival, ghost festival, tomb sweeping time, lots like this. You know, big Chinese New Year celebration. They'll celebrate Christmas too. There's always some kind of party or celebration on the horizon. You know.
Yeah.
Different parts of Taiwan have different celebrations also at different times.
Yeah.
I think it's Danshui, would have a firework display, and everybody wears the helmet, the scarf, and the jacket, and they run head on into fireworks being fired at. It's a little bit crazy. There's a Maoist festival where guys who believe in, I'm not sure what it is, the Maoist god, will stand there and just club themselves, almost, until they're bleeding. It's a little bit weird, but like over here, if you look over here, we have something else happening here. We have people camping. I'm not sure what they're doing. If there's some part of the Falun Gong thing, which is really big in China, or they're trying to recruit some more people who wear these yellow bandanas. I don't know, but there's usually something like this everywhere. Tai Chi in the morning. This park is full of people practicing Tai Chi. There's always something going on. Groups dancing as well. They like to dance at the side of the street. Yeah.
ESLinsider.